welcome to the Cruise Show. I'm Carly and this is Richard. Well, thank you for joining us today. I'm sure you'll be glad that you did because we have got some wonderful deals in store for you. We are cruising with P&O Cruises and they were the winners of Best Value for Money at the Cruise International Awards. And believe me, you are about to find out why, because these prices really are unbelievable. And to tell us a little bit more about P&O Cruises, it's Richard.
Well, thank you very much indeed, Carly. Well, P&O Cruises is all about traditional British cruising, whose roots trace back now over 180 years. P&O Cruises are tailored to British tastes and comforts, and on board you can find award-winning big names like Marco Pierre White with his restaurants and Ollie Smith with his glasshouse on board some of the ships. Now, they're a great choice for the whole family too. The kids will love a P&O Cruises holiday with characters on board that they'll know and well-organised kids clubs, so they can be entertained whilst you're enjoying the facilities around the ship. The entertainment is geared to British travellers with great comedians, vocalists and musicians who you'll have heard of back home. With all the facilities on board a P&O Cruises holiday, you'll never be bored of things to do. So sit down, relax, get yourself a pen, paper, maybe a cup of coffee and definitely the phone, because I think you're going to need it.
We're going to start out by taking you to France, Spain and Portugal in November this year. And this is on board P&O's Oceania. So let's join John for a little look around.
You know, this is what I love about the ship. It's the atrium. It's the true heartbeat of the ship. From here, you've got so many things. You've got restaurants, bars, receptions just over there. It's a whole lease of life to the ship. And with the glass lifts as well, oh my goodness, this is a place you'll be going to spend a lot of time. You know, I just love the open decks on board the ship. There are so many different places, from the back deck with the swimming pool and jacuzzis to the 2 swimming pools on main deck and all these wonderful sunbeds. I'm sure one of them's got your name on it. The one thing that will knock you out about any P&O cruise is the entertainment on board, and it really is special. Some big star names and some that will really surprise you. Find out that you've got them on board. This is the Starlight Lounge, and my goodness me, I've had some great entertainment here. I've laughed out loud and I've sang along, and you'll be doing the same too. So I got here a bit early tonight just to get myself a front row seat. Well, if you want to look up on your next destination or really get in depth in the research, this is the place to head, the library. Well, I've got all the research I need. I'm on my way. One of the great things about being on a P&O cruise holiday is the fact of the choice you have. It's all the things that you love about home as well. Things like branded coffees that you know and love. I don't know whether I have a latte or Americano, or maybe the mocha. Choice, choice, choice. Do you know what? This is one of the best meals I've ever had. And seeing we're off the coast of Italy, you can't not have a taste of Italy, can you? So I've gone for another course. Fantastic. Do you know, one of the problems when you get the dessert menu is there's so many good things on it. I just don't know what to have. It's down to 3. So I'll have all 3. The trio of desserts. Oh, this looks good. It's so lucky there are no calories at sea. This is the part of the reef for the smaller children, and they've got everything here, from a pool full of balls, they've got toys you could galore, crafts, art, jigsaws, and do you know what, they've even got dressing up outfits. I could be a fireman or a doctor. The choice.
So that's the Oceania, and we're heading here around Spain, France and Portugal. This is a 9-night holiday on the 20th of November this year. And how would you like to escape sort of the end of November, beginning of December and head away? I know I would. We're going to be cruising in and out of Southampton, so wave goodbye, we'll head down the Solent, and our first port of call will be La Coruña. Now, when you get to La Coruña, do see the Tower of Hercules there. This is the closest European port to New York as well. You may be interested to hear that. Then we're going to cruise you on to Cadiz. This is our next destination here. There's the 18th century cathedral. There's the main shopping area there as well, which is well worth a visit. Then we're going to be cruising you to Gibraltar. Now, do go shopping here for your duty-free goods as well. And I know we're running into that period, but you could go here for your Christmas shopping. It's going to be the end of November, isn't it? Then we're going to be cruising into Lisbon, which is going to be our final port of call here as well. And as you cruise down the river there, you'll get some great scenery. Do take the little trolley bus that you can see there, number 28 tram. That will show you all of the sights what Lisbon has to offer. Then we're going to be cruising you back to Southampton. Now, this is 9 nights on board. We've got the 20th of November this year, and look at this price here, from just £569 per person. Now, when you work out, you know, what's included in that price, you've got all your food, breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks throughout the day, all of your entertainment. If you're cruising with the kids, you've got the kids club as well. All the facilities you see there, the pools on top deck, all included for just that great price of £569 per person. And then when you work that out per person per night, works out under £64 per person per night. That is a great price. Now, if you want more information, or you want to take the kids and you want the prices to take the children, give us a call and we'll quote you for those separately. It's 0800 655 6449.
Well, my parents have just returned from their first cruise on board the Oceania and they loved it. They said it was easy to find their way around and they were highly complimentary of the food and the service as well. So get yourself on your first P&O cruise, or if you've been before, let's go on your next one. Let's have another little sail back through those details. So we're going to be sailing out from Southampton and heading for La Coruña. Relax on the beach for the day here, or maybe head into the town and explore the shops, restaurants and museums. And you'll even find an aquarium. I do love a good aquarium, Richard.
I know you do.
We are into Cadiz. It's a beautiful old town itself and well worth exploring. Or you could head to Seville for the day from here to discover the city's rich and long history. Then our next port of call will be Gibraltar. Grab the cable car up the rock, and I'd also recommend a trip inside the caves. They really are fascinating, and you could do some duty-free shopping while you're there as well. Then our final port of call will be Lisbon, a beautiful sail into the Portuguese capital, so be sure to be out on the deck or with your camera at the ready, and then enjoy a nice stroll around. And the main square is a great spot for some food and a little bit of people watching as well. If you like that.
We like that.
We do like that, don't we? Then we're going to be sailing you back into Southampton, and all of that from fares of just £569 per person. As Richard said, this is under £64 a night. That includes all of your food and all of that wonderful entertainment and use of the facilities on board as well. What are you waiting for? Get yourself on this cruise this year. It's 0800 655 6449. Well, we're going to move on now to our next itinerary, and we are taking you around the Western Mediterranean on board the Azura. So let's join Richard for a little look around on the sister ship Ventura.
Welcome on board Ventura, one of the largest ships in the P&O Cruises fleet, and there is so much going on around the ship all day and all night. Whether you're cruising as a family, as a couple or as a solo traveller, there are lots of facilities going around the ship. So join me as we have a look around Ventura. Well, I've made it on board. It's time to come and explore what the accommodation is about. And P&O Cruises offer everything from inside to ocean views, balconies and even suites. Shall we have a look? I'm in an inside stateroom on board Ventura, and one of the things is there's so much space here that you could be enjoying. Plenty of storage space if you're bringing your dresses for the formal evenings on board. There's a well-equipped bathroom, and of course there's the British favourites that you'll know and love with P&O Cruises, including tea and coffee making facilities, and those British 3-pin plugs, so there's no need to bring any adapters. You can keep all your tablet devices, phones and cameras all charged so you can take pictures of all those fabulous destinations. So I've unpacked, and now it's time to discover what's going on around the ship. This is the Horizon newspaper. It's delivered every day. It will tell you what's going on around the ship from early in the morning right up until the early hours of the following morning. I'm going to have a look at what the dress code is and see what the entertainment's like this evening. So here we are in a typical balcony cabin on board. It's very similar to an interior or an ocean view, but it allows that little bit of extra room with your own balcony, which makes it very spacious and airy on board. Now it's great if you're cruising with the family. You can see here we're set up for the younger cruisers, so you know they can have a fantastic time on board. I think I'm just going to go and sit on the balcony and soak up some sunshine. Well, here we are, top deck of Ventura. There are 4 swimming pools on Ventura, so you can have a splash when you're on your cruise adventure. There are plenty of sun lounges if you fancy just chilling out by the pool with a book, with a drink in your hand. And if you need a drink, you'll find that from the Breakers Bar, which is here. And if you fancy a spot of lunch, head to the poolside grill. Do you know what? I could stay here all day. Welcome to Reef on board Ventura. This is the kids club, so much fun going on here. Now you can bring your children here, aged between 0 and 17, and they'll be divided with kids of their own age, so they'll be having fun making things, designing things, playing games and having activities all throughout the day, whilst you can be enjoying the facilities around the ship. Well, this is the retreat on board Ventura. At the front of the ship, if you fancy escaping all the hustle and bustle of the top deck, you can come here for a small cover charge and enjoy just quiet relaxation for the whole entire day. Well, this is the dining options on board the main dining room. We've got 2 options for you here, cinnamon or saffron, where you can head to. There is club dining, which is the same table every evening at the same set time, or you can choose freedom dining, where you can come as you wish throughout the evening. But whichever time you choose, you'll always enjoy the same fantastic food. Welcome to Epicurean. This is a speciality fine dining restaurant. Now you can eat here for a cover charge from just £28 per person, and you can get some great traditional English dishes, like we've got the Devonshire white crab to start with. We can have the pork fillet for our main, and something that I'm looking forward to here, the caramelised apple crumble. Now you can also head here for afternoon tea as well, which is served here and also in the main restaurant. That's with Eric Landlords, and from just £15 per person. But make sure you pre-book it when you come on board so you don't miss out. Welcome to the Arena Theatre here on board Ventura, and what a great venue it is. It's so big. Now you can come here for the main show that takes place every evening. That could be a show that can incorporate a guest act that comes on board, a magician, a vocalist, a musician, a guest entertainer, or of course there's the resident ship band, where you can enjoy live evening entertainment. Well, sadly my time has come to an end on board Ventura, and I can't wait to get back on for my next cruise holiday. You can see she is facility rich and a great choice for all the family. P&O Cruises is all about quintessential British quality.
So that was the Ventura. Now we're going to be taking on board the Azura, which is the sister ship to the Ventura. So the facilities you saw there, they'll be pretty much replicated on board the Azura. There's a couple of differences, but it gives you a great flavour of what you can experience on board. So this is the Azura going around the Western Mediterranean now on the 13th of April next year for 14 nights. We're going to be cruising out of Southampton, have a couple of days at sea, and our first port of call will be Alicante. Now here you've got the many miles of glorious golden sandy beaches that you can see here as well. It has a very sophisticated Mediterranean feel with its old town as well, with its many cafes and shops. Then we're on to Barcelona, is our next port of call here. You've got the mix of the ancient and the modern with all the Art Nouveau architecture, all the buildings there. Then we're going to cruise you to Toulon. Do look out for the superb Maritime and Art Museum. Go and visit the cathedral that you can see there. Go to the markets where there's fresh flowers and vegetables bought every single day. Then
Then we're on to La Spezia, is our next port of call here as well. One of Italy's most important military and commercial harbours, clinging to the coastline there. Then it's on to Civitavecchia. This is the port for Rome, where you can go and see the Eternal City. You've got the Vatican as well. Go and toss a coin in the Trevi Fountain. Then it's on to Cartagena as our next port of call. You'll see the original castle walls here and the amphitheatre as well. Then we're going to be cruising you on to our final destination, to Gibraltar. There you can go and see the little apes there. Do take a trip up the rock itself, which is you get great views looking out to the Mediterranean. Then we're going to be cruising you back to Southampton. So this is a 14-night holiday heading away on the 13th of April next year, and then you can be on board from just £899 per person on board the Azura. This is working out, when you break it all down, it's working out at under £65 per person per night. So when you think, if you stay in a hotel and then you want to be fed in the evening, you want to go out and see some entertainment, and you want breakfast the following day and have lunch and use the swimming pools and use the gym, you think how much that will cost you. Well, with this, it's all included, and that great price from under £65 per person per night. If you want to get yourself on board, it's 0800 655 6449.
Well, I would say this is a lovely time of year to be heading to the Western Mediterranean. Before that intense heat of the summer has kicked in, you're heading out and you can just relax and enjoy these fabulous sights without getting too hot. Let's have another little sail back through those details. So we're going to be sailing you out from Southampton and heading for Alicante. Perhaps head to nearby San Juan for a round of golf, or just relax on one of the lovely beaches. Then we're in to Barcelona. The hop-on, hop-off bus is a great way to see the sights around Barcelona, and maybe get off in Las Ramblas and go and watch some of those colourful street entertainers. Then our next port of call will be Toulon. Maybe take the cable car ride to the top of La Farren Mountain for panoramic views over this wonderful city. Then our next port of call will be La Spezia. This is where you could head for Florence for the day, or Pisa, or if you've already been, then La Spezia itself has got a beautiful cathedral and harbour for you to wander around as well. Then our next port of call will be Civitavecchia. This is of course for Rome. Go and see sights like the Trevi Fountain, the Spanish Steps, the Vatican, perhaps the Colosseum. Before we arrive in our next destination, Cartagena, one of Spain's busiest commercial centres, and it's got a beautiful castle and city walls for you to walk around there as well. Then our final port of call will be Gibraltar. Get your duty-free shopping done and then head up the rock and meet those Barbary apes, but keep tight hold of your cameras, your sunglasses and your hat, because believe me, they are very cheeky.
And your ice cream as well.
And your ice cream, definitely. And then we'll be sending you back in to Southampton, and all of that from fares of just £899. As Richard said, this is under £65 a night. This is why P&O Cruises won that Best Value for Money award, isn't it? Get yourself on this cruise and on the phone. It's 0800 655 6449. Well, this next itinerary is going around Easter next year to France and Spain. So let's have a little look on board the Britannia, where you're going to be cruising with John.
The great thing about being on a ship like Britannia is the amount of deck space that you have. There's so much of it, and you can just relax in this area or many other areas. I'll just go and have a look at some more. Well, we may be cruising the ocean's waves, but it doesn't mean you miss out on all your favourite things. You know what? I think I'll have an Americano. Here in the Market Cafe in the centre of the atrium of the ship, this is where you get all their cheeses, and also Eric Landlard's cakes as well. They do afternoon tea here, which is absolutely scrumptious. And the good thing I've heard is there are no calories at sea. Well, they say there are no calories at sea, but just in case one or two sneak on board, we've got just the answer. It's a gymnasium, and what a great fitness centre it is too, with loads of great equipment, and you can easily get started, and there's classes too. Here on Britannia, retail therapy is part of the holiday experience, with so many great brands to look at as well. And remember, it's all duty-free. One of the best parts of any P&O Cruises holiday are the excursions, because there's so many of them, and it really brings the ports alive. The destinations come to you as well. And now they've got a new touchscreen booking system. You know, I love this area of Britannia. It's serenity. It's an adult-only area of the ship where you can relax and enjoy yourself and just take it all in. And if you do have kids, they're probably having the time of their life in the reef as well. A bit like me, really. Do you know there's so much on Britannia for kids of every age? I think every family would truly, truly love a holiday here because, well, if the kids are having a good time, so are you. And on board, they also have their own puppet show. Meet Chris and Richard. Now behave yourself, boys. Do you know, if you want to find out more about the shore excursions or watch live TV, including news and sport, or watch a movie on demand or maybe a television programme on demand, you can do. It's all on the in-house TV service and it's all included.
So that's John on board the flagship of the P&O Cruises fleet, Britannia. We're going to be heading around here, around France and Spain, and this is going in Easter next year. So we're going to be departing on Good Friday, the 30th of March next year. So if you're working Monday to Friday in an office, it's just 4 days off work you'll have to take on this one because it's going to take in the Good Friday and it will also take in the Easter Monday as well. Now, the great thing about cruising in and out of Southampton, you can take with you as much as you want. So yes, you can take with you all your Easter eggs, or your handbags, or your pairs of shoes. There's nobody weighing any cases saying that's 20 kilos, you can't take that. So we'll get you on board in Southampton, and the check-in process in Southampton is so quick. You arrive there, you show your passport, you show your tickets, you get given your cruise card, and then you get yourself on board, and that's where you'll probably head to the buffet, where you'll probably find John Cooper, and then we're going to cruise out of Southampton, and our first destination will be Cherbourg. Now, when you get to Cherbourg here, you've got the lovely harbour light you can see there as well, but the must-see here is the Gothic-style Benedictine Abbey here, which is perched on the rocky island there. Then on to La Coruña is our next port of call. You go here, you could choose to go to the Interactive Museum of the Human Body, which you find out some interesting information there. Then we're going to cruise on to Gijon is our next port of call here. You've got a fascinating collection of museums, sculptures, architecture and peaceful gardens. Then our final port of call will be Bilbao. Here you've got the Guggenheim Museum, you've got all the architecture of the city, you've got the old part, you've also got the new part as well. Then we're going to be cruising you back to Southampton. So this is a holiday that's going away on the 30th of March next year. Good Friday we're going away here for 7 nights. You can be on board from just £559 per person. Now, this is great if you've never been on a cruise holiday before and you think, you know, I don't want to go on a plane, I don't want to spend 2 weeks on board. This is a great introduction to cruising at just 7 nights. And if you've never been on a cruise holiday before, we've also got this as our first time guide to cruising, which answers some of the common questions that we're often asked. You know, when and where can I eat? What do I need to, what's the dress code like? What currency do I need to take on board? Well, there's many of those types of questions answered and many, many more, and we can send that out to you completely free of charge. If you want a copy of that, just pick up the phone and give us a call. And if you want to get yourself on board Britannia going away to Easter next year for just £559 per person, you don't want to miss out on that one. It's 0800 655 6449.
Well, do you know what I'm thinking? If the children are off school this week for Easter, then why not take them with you on their first cruise, or maybe their second or third cruise? Give us a call if you'd like prices for the children. There is so much going on board. You just saw the footage with John there on the Britannia. They will have the time of their lives. Let's have another little sail back through those details. So we're going to be sailing out from Southampton and heading for Cherbourg. Find a traditional French cafe and enjoy a drink while you watch the boats in and out of the harbour, and definitely visit the Gothic-style Benedictine Abbey and maybe Cherbourg's aquarium while you're there as well. Then we're into La Coruña with a couple of beaches, great shopping and mouth-watering seafood, and a number of museums. This charming town has got so much to offer. Then we're into Gijon. One of the city's great treasures is the Atlantic Botanical Garden. garden. It was the first botanical garden in the north of Spain, and there's also plenty to discover in the beautiful rural countryside as well. Then our final port of call will be Bilbao. Visit the Guggenheim Modern Art Gallery or sample some tapas in one of the many exceptional local restaurants before we sail you back in to Southampton. And all of that from fares of just $559 per person. This is 7 nights away, going on the 30th of March next year. And don't forget, that takes in Good Friday and Easter Monday. Give us a call on 0800 655 6449 and get yourself booked on this lovely cruise. Well, it's now time for our quick picks.
And we're on board Ventura for our first quick pick. We're off to the Canary Islands on the 27th of November this year for 12 nights. Just £699 per person for 12 nights. Wow. Cruising out to Southampton, we're off to Madeira, La Palma, Gran Canaria, Lanzarote, Lisbon, and then back to Southampton. This works out at under £59 per person per night. So what great value for money this represents. If you want more information on this one, just pick up the phone and call us now on 0800 655 6449 or go to the website for full details. Then our next cruise we've got for you, we've got Italy, France and Spain on board Oceania on the 19th of October this year for 10 nights. We're going to start off by flying you from the UK with basis on Gatwick out to Malta. We'll join the ship in Valletta. We're then going to cruise on to Civitavecchia for Rome, Monte Carlo, Marseille, Barcelona, Gibraltar, and then we're going to cruise into Southampton. Just £649 per person. This is going to include as well that flight at the beginning of your holiday as well. Wow, if you want more information on this one, just pick up that phone and give us a call. And then our final one we've got for you this time round, we're on board Azura. We're taking you here to Spain, Portugal and France on the 6th of April next year for 7 nights. Cruising out to Southampton, it's off to Vigo, then Lisbon, Porto, Cherbourg and then back to Southampton. Just £539 per person, which is great value for money. If you want more information on that one, head to visioncruise.co.uk or pick up that phone. It's 0800 655 6449.
Well, we really have had some incredible deals today. If you have never cruised before, then a P&O cruise is definitely for you. And with prices like £65 a night, with all your food and all that wonderful entertainment, what are you waiting for? Now is the time to book your first cruise. Give us a call on 0800 655 6449. But from myself and from Richard, it's time to go. See you next time on The Cruise Show.
Yeah, see you very soon. Bye for now.
You've been watching a commercial presentation on behalf of Vision Cruise.